Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Quick shout out to my newest patron, Daniel B. Thank you for choosing to support the channel. First up, another warning about mainstream media reporting on FSD. Look at this message that Matt Smith received. Hope this email finds you well. Getting in touch because I'm a freelance journalist currently working on a piece about Tesla's FSD in the self-driving vehicle industry. Article will look at evidence of the FSD's shortcomings, how the cult of Tesla helps to obscure these, and the reality of the industry as a whole versus the hype. I mean, what we have here is a journalist simply looking to do a hit piece. They should be smart enough knowing that Matt's a Tesla fan, he's probably not going to do this, and his response was great. Thanks, but since you've drawn your own conclusions before speaking to me, I don't want you to use snippets from a conversation to bolster your own biases. Just a reminder that this stuff really does happen and there will continue to be FSD FUD in the mainstream media. Tesla Owners Online started a good thread yesterday encouraging people to share their favorite Tesla tricks. Way too many to go over, but if you're interested, I will link it below. And Elon casually swooped in saying, coming soon, if you want your car to make a loud farting sound from the external speaker, just say fart in their general direction. Sure, you may roll your eyes, but children will absolutely eat this up. And here we have it. Today, Ford makes a huge announcement, completely changing its entire business, now separating in two. It will all be under the Ford umbrella, so no real EV spinoff. However, there are now going to be two distinct businesses under the Ford umbrella. Ford Blue will be for ICE vehicles, and Ford Model E, yes, the name that Tesla wanted to use for the Model 3, but Ford blocked it, will be for digital vehicles and the EV portfolio. Ford has framed this as a way to give them the speed of a startup with the expertise of high volume production. So together with Ford Pro, which is their commercial line, all three of these entities will have distinct profit and loss statements by 2023. The Ford Model E division will be a clean sheet approach for their EV portfolio. It's going to focus on new shopping and buying experiences. We're talking e-commerce platforms and transparent pricing, as well as new methods of support. Ford Blue will eventually adopt these new practices built from Model E. Jim Farley will be the president of Model E in addition to remaining as the CEO of Ford Motor Company. Doug Field will lead the product creation as the chief EV officer, and he'll oversee software as well. Ford's Model E division will also be responsible for the following: developing software and technology that will be used by Model E and Ford Blue, focusing on connectivity, think software as a service, batteries, electric motors, inverters, charging, and recycling. Model E will also spend $5 billion this year alone on BEVs, and their goal is to produce 2 million EVs per year by 2026, which would be 1/3 of Ford's global vehicle volume within 4 years. Ford Blue will keep investing in the ICE business, think the Bronco, the F-150, the Mustang. This will be the profit engine for Ford, and Ford will continue to invest money here, and these will be distinct businesses, but they will of course share technology and best practices. For me, it's just really interesting to look around the EV space and to see the impact that one company, Tesla, has had in a relatively short amount of time. And so while these other companies are undoubtedly going to have problems and struggles over the next few years, I really do love this move by Ford. I think it's an excellent decision. It's going to give them the ability to almost act like Tesla in a way with its Model E division, to start really thinking in terms of first principles, building EVs from the ground up, and thinking about the entire life cycle of an EV. And I feel like I need to be clear here, there is still a lot of execution risk for Ford. So yes, I like this new path, but now they actually have to walk it. They need a ton of new talent for EVs and software, and I just want you guys to know there are still plenty of challenges ahead for Ford, although this is a very good start. I'm sure most of you have seen it by now, but yes, Rivian has increased their prices around $15,000, and most people are saying, although there is mixed reporting here, that pre-orders are being affected, so they are not honoring the pre-order prices. Here's the email, and you can see it right here. We want to share information that affects your Rivian pre-order. So here's one example. Quinn had his pre-order for $85,100, and now his total estimated price is $101,650. And if you go to this Rivian subreddit, these 132 comments are almost all people talking about their pre-orders now actually being changed. I'm saying this because there is some reporting that Rivian is now sending emails saying that they're going to honor pre-order pricing, but I wouldn't be too confident in that report. And just so you're aware, it's out there. This is from Joey from Teslarati, and he says there's an email that Rivian is sending to customers saying, since you are in the final steps of completing your transaction, your Rivian pre-order will not be affected by these adjustments. But he doesn't include a screenshot of the email or anything like that. It's just this quoted text. Elon chimed in response to this article saying their Rivian's negative gross margin will be staggering. And once again, Reuters is reporting that the price increases would affect most of the customers who have already placed pre-orders for the vehicles. And at this point, I probably don't need to share why Rivian needs to do this, but inflation, increasing component costs, unprecedented supply chain shortages, and delays for parts, including semiconductors. And there are a decent amount of R1T pre-order holders that are feeling the bait and switch because Rivian announced it will introduce an R1T model with a lower range battery pack and dual motors in 2024, which will be priced at the original $67,500. And I don't need to tell you this, but this is not a great way to treat your initial fans. Maybe Rivian will hear all the public criticism and feedback and see the drop off of many of these pre-orders and change its course, or at least offer something in terms of compensation. But the bigger issue here is long-term for Rivian. Now their vehicle, a mid-sized truck, is priced very high. We're looking at a starting price of $80,000, and a lot of the specs will push it over $100,000. And Elon offered some harrowing words for the future of Rivian. He said, "Our, Tesla's, primary challenge is affordability. Creating an expensive truck is relatively easy." Elon was asked about Cybertruck pricing. He said, "If it's extremely hard to do so for Tesla to create an affordable truck, despite our much greater economies of scale and better technology, then it is damn near impossible for others." And a lot of people out there are saying, well, Tesla has raised prices a bunch of times. What's the big deal? Well, the difference is Rivian is doing this for pre-orders in a retroactive fashion, meaning they're not honoring those original prices, when generally speaking, Tesla has honored original pricing, and there are plenty of anecdotes like this shared online to confirm that. And to be fair, there are still questions for Cybertruck reservation holders, not just for the vehicle cost, but also for the price of the FSD. Many people are wondering, is that going to be locked in, or will those reservation holders have to pay the new higher FSD prices? And so on a day when my sustainable energy and transport watch list is generally mixed or unchanged, Rivian is down currently over 10%. And look, I've said it before, I will say it again. Making EVs profitably is an incredibly challenging task. Tesla almost died on multiple occasions. We all need to remember this as we go forward and watch these other automakers try to do the same thing. And I need you guys to hear me on this. If you're somebody that thinks Rivian and Lucid are surefire bets to succeed and even exist a decade from now, I just want to remind you that is not necessarily the case. I just want to remind you there is a non-0% chance that these companies don't exist 10 years from now. Now don't get it twisted, I absolutely am rooting for them and want them to exist to help replace these ICE vehicles, but it's not a guarantee. Just a warning to all present and future Tesla owners, after returning your lease or selling your Tesla, your personal info may be available to the next buyer via the app. So I will include this thread below if you want to look into it. There was an edit later added by the original poster saying, "Tesla removed the finance section from my app. I can no longer see this information. Hopefully it was a system-wide change." So if and when you part ways with your Tesla, be sure to clear out all of the data, reset everything, clear out all of your personal information so this doesn't happen to you. Tesla has entered into another binding term sheet agreement for lithium from an Australian lithium company. This will be for the supply of up to 110,000 tons of spodumene concentrate from the Finniss lithium project over a term of 4 years, with pricing referenced to the market price for spodumene concentrate. Construction of this project has already begun, although the first lithium concentrate production is scheduled for Q4 of this year. The parties still need to enter into a definitive product purchase agreement, which will be due by August 27th of this year, and it should actually provide Tesla with supply starting before July 31st, 2023. And Core's supply to Tesla will cease on the date that is 4 years after commencement of supply, we just mentioned around the middle of 2023, or until a total of up to 110,000 dry metric tons has been delivered. And perhaps even more important than this spodumene supply is this: Tesla has agreed to provide additional support to Core to assist with the successful completion of its Stage 3 expansion, which has not started yet, and the incorporation of Core's lithium chemical product into Tesla's supply chain. So essentially what I pull from this is Tesla could be working with Core to provide expertise and guidance on how it should expand in the future, really integrating this and forming more of a partnership than just a one-off business deal. And real quick, what does this actually mean for Tesla? I think it's very important that you begin to understand some of this as Tesla continues to move further down the supply chain. So this contract for 110,000 dry metric tons of lithium spodumene. For a 75 kilowatt hour battery, you need around 65 kilograms of lithium carbonate or lithium hydroxide, which is the final product after refining the lithium spodumene. Typically, you get 1 kilogram of lithium carbonate from 8 kilograms of lithium spodumene. So if you take the 65 kilograms of lithium carbonate that you need for a 75 kilowatt hour pack, multiply that by 8 kilograms, which is the amount of lithium spodumene needed per kilogram, that would give you around 520 kilograms of lithium spodumene needed per pack. So once again, 110,000 dry metric tons, the size of this contract, is equivalent to 110 million kilograms because 1 metric ton equals 1,000 kilograms. Thus, 110 million kilograms of spodumene, the size of this contract, divided by 520 kilograms per pack on average, would yield approximately 211,500 battery packs, or that many cars for Tesla from this contract. Here we have more drama between Elon and the White House. Reportedly, Elon sent an email to CNBC saying that no one is watching the State of the Union, and I kind of agree with him. I had it on in the background, but ultimately, it just feels like a pep rally to me, a lot of empty promises and cheering and all of that. So if that's your thing, hey, that's fine. However, there was a part in the address when Biden mentioned Ford and GM talking about EVs and investments and jobs. Once again, did not say Tesla. At this point, guys, look, it shouldn't be a surprise. We know what's going on. It's a union situation, and it is what it is. However, Elon is not done pushing for recognition, and I don't blame him at all. He said in response to Joe, Tesla has created over 50,000 US jobs building EVs and is investing more than double GM and Ford combined. Then he added FYI to the person controlling this Twitter. And then Elon was asked if he runs his own Twitter, to which he said, well, I do have multiple personality disorder, but they're all technically in the same head. And I think this point Elon makes right here is crucial, especially as you interact online and people start talking about which company has the longest range and range anxiety and all of that. Elon said, we could have made a 600-mile Model S a year ago, but that would have made the product worse, IMO, as 99.9% of the time you'd be carrying unneeded battery mass, which makes acceleration, handling, and efficiency worse. Even our 400 plus mile range car is more than almost anyone will use. And I thought Jeremy's reply was pretty funny, so I'll have it on the screen for you. But what I want to say is that, look, I know there are use cases where people need more range, and cold climates can cut the range in half, payload can reduce the range. I get all of that, but what Elon is saying is true, that for most people, having that much range in excess of 400 miles right now just is not necessary, and it doesn't make sense. And Elon continued his Twitter storm saying, all cars made since November also have push center for the horn, just waiting on a firmware update. If you mash the right side of the yoke with your palm, the horn will trigger. This user on Reddit shared a video of him using his Galaxy Watch 4 non-LTE as an NFC key to enter his Tesla. So I will include this Reddit thread below and another one where he actually went into detail as to how you can set this up if it's something that you wanted to do yourself. And since we're on the topic, Spawn Point had a good video of using your Apple Watch to control your Tesla. There is an app you can buy, I believe it's $6, and there may be others as well. However, this one was very good and informative, linked below if you want to check it out. And there are some great use cases for this in case you didn't know. That'll do it for today. Please like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.